so no one's safe from the party line, it seems. So Ellie does start to adjust, and she makes friends with a little girl, the little English girl, Mary, who is being bullied by some of the school children. And Ellie does think that she's got a friend until she makes a horrific discovery as she's taking the girl back to her home after one bullying incident. Tell me, how does a little girl like you have such a big family of black babies? Ellie asks Mary. Oh, it's great. The teacher gives you a card with a photo of a black baby on it, and there are squares on the back, and each time you pay a penny, a square is marked. And when all the boxes are filled with pennies, you're allowed to name a black baby in Africa and take the card home to show your mum and dad. I have 10 black babies because Dad gives me pocket money, and I spend half of it in sweets and the other half in black babies. She looks at Ellie. I don't have one called Nathaniel. I'll call the next one after Nat. I have a Teresa and a Bernadette, Agnes, Bridget. That's going to be my confirmation name because she's the best saying. I've also got a John and a Matthew because some of the pictures are obviously boys, and so you have to take boys. She ticks them off in each finger as she lists them. Paul, Claire, Margaret, Elizabeth. It isn't fair actually because there's more boys saints than girls, so it's easier to get boys' names. Ellie stops at the roadside. Her mouth is dry and she tastes the bile she is sure is rising from her bruised heart. I will leave you now. Your friends cannot harm you here. But the girl is not finished. Someone, something, has given her permission to continue. Did you ever meet any of my black babies when you were in Africa? Ellie cannot speak. This is worse than the Society of Holy Childhood. Was her own education paid for by a small child spending half their pocket money to buy and own a black baby? Is this the value attached to her people? A trinket, a bauble to be collected and swapped? Why did the nuns keep this from her? Is this child making this up? Or could it be that some little girl, years ago, had a card with Ellie written on the back? Did part of this pay for her worn and patched uniform and watered down soup, while the other part weighed down the young black father's pockets? Ellie knows she has been fortunate to have been taken to the mission when she was small. Her father never stopped reminding her it was one less mouth he had to feed and one more convert for the mission. She is grateful for her education, but she is the one who was forced to leave her home for it. She was the one who worked hard for the nuns. She no longer owes a debt. This education should have come from her own independent government, not from the charity of other nations who plundered the land, left it spent, and threw it back to the care of a greedy few. The restriction in her chest releases as she puffs up with anger. She wants to scream at this girl, who now looks at her, expecting some sort of answer to her ludicrous question. She wants to slap that white face hard. No, Mary, I did not know any of your babies. She wants to hurt her, to tell her that the children in Africa have no knowledge of her indulgent pennies, but she cannot. And please, do not call my black baby Nat. There is only room for one Nat, and he is here, cuddled up to my back. Ellie's head is filled with cotton as she trudges home. She wants to walk as far as the river they crossed that first day when she arrived in this pathetic country. Walk south as far as she can, catch a boat at the end of this civilised island, pace the decks because she knows that she will not be able to stop walking. And once she is on her continent, she will walk over desert and through storm and heat and drought and famine until she reaches her mother, and she will be welcomed with kola nut and celebration, and she will at last be able to stop walking and take her baby from his place at her back, and they can be at rest. But Ellie knows this is impossible because she has a husband who she has promised to obey, and he is visiting his mother, a mother who has not yet set eyes on her grandchild because Perth and black do not go together.